Hi everybody, Kimberly here, and I am going to share with you my story about why I am now fragrance free. So I have always loved the aroma of fresh cut grass and freshly baked bread and flowers in the garden and leaves crushed in your hand. I love it, just speaks to my soul. And that's from childhood on. And then fast forward to young adulthood, and somewhere along the way, what was natural and loved, that ended up being mutated to where it's artificial fragrance was acceptable. That was where the plugins started coming out, and all of the fancy scented candles were out, and you could get a coupon for them. And I ended up with scented candles in every room of my house for every season. Yeah, I had backups in drawers. I mean, I just was a major addict. Then add in those plugins. Then on top of that, my daily routine was to take a shower with a scented body wash, and then to add the scented lotion on top of that. And then, the hair care products that had fragrance in them. And then perfume on top of that, as though I wasn't smelling wonderful enough at that point. Compound all of that with fragranced laundry detergent, and then the dryer sheets, which what are dryer sheets good for anyway? Like, seriously, just this illusion of needing to have fragrance everywhere in my life. Well, you know what else was everywhere in my life? Were headaches. Chronic headaches, just all the time headaches. So fast forward to 2012, and I had developed a mysterious illness that would have me completely couch bound much of the time. I mean, there would be days where I'd be so exhausted, I literally could not open my eyes. Like, I didn't have the energy to open my eyelids. I was a mom to a 4-year-old little girl at the time, and she's 14 now, but she remembers still to this day thinking that mommy was dying sometimes, because I was on the couch and I couldn't move. I was so exhausted. I also had roving inflammation that would one day be in my teeth, and I'd have a toothache like nobody's business. And then a week later, it would be in the balls of my feet, and they would hurt so bad I could hardly walk. That's crazy. So I started seeing 6 different clinical specialists for different areas of my body that was having all these things going on. And they all agreed basically it was fibromyalgia. And they all also agreed that they each wanted to give me a medication from their genre of medicine to treat my symptoms. Well, at that point, I was nearly 30 years into my career of veterinary medicine as a veterinary nurse, veterinary technician. And all I knew was there was no way I was going to take all these different types of drugs from these different modalities of practice to treat my symptoms. That was not going to happen. And so I ended up seeking a naturopathic doctor, and this was somebody who helped me very slowly detox. That's basically what he said was going on with my body, was I was loaded with toxins. And so he helped me detox. I learned so much from him, and one of the requirements he had for me was to go fragrance free. In fact, his was the first office I'd ever been to that had a sign on the door that said, "No fragrances allowed." Okay. Turns out there are a lot of people out there, just like I was, who was sick, and he understood that it was from toxins. So I did tremendous amount of work. I changed my diet. We changed our lifestyle. We ditched all the toxic products. We switched to toxin-free products, fragrance-free products. And then now fast forward to 2020. Not only was it year for the Rona for everybody, right? But for us, we ended up with a flood and water damage. That led to mold. That led to an entire new set of health issues. At that point, I was doing great. Felt the best I had felt in a really long time. Yep, I had blips here and there, but I knew what my triggers were, and I avoided them if I could. And then mold came in, and my body crashed, and it crashed hard. And I'm still here. This is February of 2022 at the time of this recording, still dealing with symptoms from mold, and more importantly, and why I'm sharing this with you, multiple chemical sensitivity. So basically, the mold, the toxicity of the mold, hit a threshold in my body where my body just couldn't keep up with the detoxification process. So toxin overload is what I live with every single day now. Even though I eat as clean as I can and I avoid toxins, my body is now so hyper reactive to toxins in the environment, whether I walk behind somebody outside even, and they have just this aroma of laundry detergent, or if I walk down the soap aisle at the grocery store and I'm in there for too long, or if I'm at somebody's house and they have plug-ins, it does physically affect me. And so even though I am 100% fragrance free at my house, I am deeply impacted by fragrances elsewhere. This is why we are sharing these messages this month. My sweet friend Kathy and I are sharing these messages to get this out to all of you, that multiple chemical sensitivity, the sensitivity to fragrance, is a real thing. And if you know somebody who is sensitive now to fragrances, they just don't feel well afterwards, fuzzy brain, headache, maybe they get rashes, whatever it might be. There's a long list of things which we'll share with you down the road here of what you see with multiple chemical sensitivity. Please tag them in this post. And if it's you, my friend, who are also experiencing these symptoms, I'm sorry. Hang with us. We're going to teach you all kinds of things about how to ditch and switch these toxins and why it's so important to do that. Thanks.